So episode 106 of Super, not one of my favorites. In fact, it's probably my least favorite episode of this arc when it comes to the tournament ones, like the ones that actually involve the Tournament of Power. Not my favorite one at all. But today we're talking about Super episode 107, which I actually do believe has potential to be a really fun, really awesome episode based on the next episode preview. And that's what we're going to do here. We're going to break down the next episode preview of Super 107. There is a lot to talk about here. We have tons of stuff to talk about, and so it should be fun. But also remember, programming note, as always, I tell you guys what's going on with Super. There will not be a Dragon Ball Super episode next week. They're taking a week off. There's going to be a special about the history of Japan and like the Japanese government, Japanese culture airing. Not Super whatsoever. It'll be back in 2 weeks, but don't worry because you're going to get tons of content here on Geekdom 101 in the meantime. And starting tomorrow on this channel, you're going to get a video about the theory of possibly Zeno changing the rules of the tournament and allowing killing. What if this happens? What does this mean for the series? And now, based on what we've seen recently, it could happen. So that video is coming out tomorrow right here on Geekdom 101. If you're new to the channel, punch the subscribe button and remember to hit the bell so that you are notified when I upload. So let's get right into it. Episode 107 of Super. Frost, Jiren, Maji, Kayo. So much stuff going on. Let's break it down together. And of course, leave your comments. We'll all have a discussion about it. Let's go. There's Maji Kayo. Now, obviously, I did a video a few weeks ago. I don't know if you guys saw that video. I'm sure most of you guys did, about Maji Kayo and about how he's pretty much going to be the tribute, a character that is a tribute to the T-1000, the liquid metal Terminator from the Terminator movies. If you have not seen these movies, you have to at least see the first two because they are masterpieces. James Cameron's best movies, in my opinion, are that one and probably Aliens. True Lies is pretty good too, but nonetheless, the character of Maji Kayo is without question a tribute to T-1000, which is of course that he is still an android, he's still a robot, but he's made up of liquid metal. And if we go over to our character roster, thanks to Shadow Raiko for making this, he is in Universe 3 where all the robots are, all the cyborgs are, and Maji Kayo is there. So he's squaring off against, well, let's take a look. There's Jiren right there with his eyes closed like always. I love this scene. Okay, first of all, the difference between T-1000 and, you know, Jiren is that, Jiren, and Maji Kayo is that Maji Kayo seems to have way more control over his body and can do more things than T-1000 can. So here we see him turning his fist into a giant fist, and he's about to hit Jiren. So I think what they're going to do is they're going to showcase Maji Kayo as being a tough guy, and they're going to have Jiren raffle stomp him. That's my prediction on that one. But I absolutely love this shot right here. I love that he creates a giant fist like it's a freaking Bugs Bunny cartoon, and he's about to smash Jiren to bits here. But of course, we know that Jiren is going to survive this because he's being booked as the big opponent for Goku in the coming weeks. Now, speaking of Goku, he says here, Universe 6's Frost is using Vegeta to corner us. I'm curious about how. I'm wondering if they're going to bring back that fire technique, but it's going to be interesting to see Frost and Vegeta working together here. But people have been wondering, including myself, where's Frost? Where's Frieza? I think this episode will finally reveal what's up with Frieza. And by the way, I should mention this. Another reason why you want to subscribe is because I'm expecting a huge surge of news this week about Dragon Ball Super. Spoilers and or discussion topics about things coming up. So I think we're going to get more information this week. But let's get back to this preview here. I love this shot, and we're going to talk about Frost here in a moment. You know, there's Kai. There's Frost with a wicked smile. And it looks like what's happening here, again, it's hard to really catch this and really figure it out. But, you know, right here we see what appears to be Maji Kayo there, again, in a different form. And there's Dispo fighting him. So I'm guessing Maji Kayo is just going to challenge the Pride Troopers. Dispo there with a huge kick to the face. Good to see him back in action again. I'm even thinking that he's not even going to fight Jiren that much. It'll mostly be just Topo and Dispo taking this dude out. But notice that he just comes right back. Again, he is made up of liquid metal. very hard to kill. Or at least I think he's made up of liquid metal. He's based on a character made up of liquid metal. Keep going. This is the cheater Frost. He must be up to something. Very interesting again, you know, with this situation with Frost. Now, obviously, earlier in the arc, we saw, and we actually heard from Ryusei Nakao himself, who voices both characters, that Frieza and Frost are up to something. And I've seen a lot of you guys comment on Facebook, on YouTube, Twitter, all over the place, and you've been asking me, what's up with the Frieza and Frost thing? Like, what's up with that? And my response is, they're going to get to it. Just be patient, you know, because Vegeta and Frieza and Frost are going to have, you know, they're all going to have their own time here. And finally, now we're getting the Frost thing. So I wonder if this episode is going to be the episode where they highlight Frieza and Frost and their little trick or whatever, their little tactics, so to speak. I have a theory that somebody sent me on Twitter about what might happen, and I want to get you guys' thoughts on it as well, and maybe even put a poll up here. Let's keep going. Dispo again. Well, that's Beerus, actually. There's Beerus. Good shot of Jiren there, and there's Frost walking. And the beautiful thing about this is they haven't really revealed exactly what is, you know, they haven't revealed exactly what Frost's plan is, and they're not going to. Now, we got to talk about this. Master Roshi are going to use the evil containment wave, so Roshi will be using the Mafuba again. I have had people hit me up and directly say that Roshi is going to die in this episode. They teased him dying a couple weeks ago. They didn't pull the trigger on it. This time he might actually die, and I wonder if he does die. Because I'll tell you one thing. If Roshi does die doing the Mafuba, it's going to be one of the ballsiest things that Super has ever done. I mean, I would say that's right up there with Goku Black killing Future Bulma, and, you know, we were all shocked when that happened. I think that, I don't think he's going to die. But if he does die, it's going to be interesting. I'm telling you, people have hit me up about this saying they think he's going to be dead this time. Like, he barely survived before, but this time he's history. And I'm going to show you guys here. You see Krillin and Tien freaking out. You know, and Goku even says, don't anymore and you'll die for sure this time. So he's got Frost trapped, right? You see him doing the Mafuba there. He's got Frost trapped. And so if Roshi does not die, will he get eliminated? I believe he will. I think Roshi is going to get eliminated in this episode. That is my theory. I could be wrong. And it's okay if I am. I think Roshi is history. Not dying, eliminated in this episode. Because even though when you do the Mafuba, right, it's not necessarily a thing about power. You can actually use the Mafuba on somebody more powerful than you and still trap them in the jar if you know how to use the technique correctly, right? But I just think Frost is way too sneaky to allow this to happen, and he's going to have his boys help him. Now, I got another thing I'm going to talk about here in a minute, but let's look at this episode title right here. Revenge F. Now, notice that it's got the little lines around the F, just like Resurrection F, Fukatsu no Efu. I love the fact that the episode is called Revenge F as a throwback to Resurrection F. I love it so much. It's called Revenge F, The Cunning Trap, which is a great name for the episode. I don't think that this F is about Frieza. I think this F is Frost. However, I would not be surprised if Dragon Ball Super is trying to swerve us and make us think it is about Frost when actually it is about Frieza. You have to remember, we're analyzing a 30-second next episode preview. There is way more stuff in the context of the episode they're not going to reveal, and there could be something where, because we didn't see too much in this next episode preview, could be something, we saw a lot but not everything, where Frieza does get involved and maybe Frieza comes up with the plan, or maybe Frieza betrays Frost. Again, I've had people hit me up with that one. Now, the big one I want to ask you guys about, I want some real interaction on this one. Somebody hit me up and they said, what do you think would happen if Frost tricked Vegeta into getting himself disqualified? Now, I'm not sure what Vegeta could do to get himself disqualified, or maybe Frieza, like, trick him into attempting to kill Frieza, but that wouldn't really be a DQ. But I was told by somebody, they're like, oh, maybe Frost will get Vegeta disqualified, and that's how he'll be out. Could be. Maybe he'll trick the judges into thinking he has the poison dart this time. I don't know. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen, but I want to get your thoughts. Do you think it's going to happen? I don't think Frost's going to get Vegeta disqualified. I think Vegeta will be in this thing for quite some time. He's not getting thrown out early. I don't believe that to be the case. Let's finish up here. And here we have Frost looking over Roshi. So again, it's like, I think Roshi's in trouble. And it's going to be interesting to see a Roshi Frost fight, because that's one of the fights that I did not expect to see in this tournament. I expected all kinds of different combinations. Didn't even think about this one. And wouldn't it be interesting if Frost was the guy to eliminate Roshi and Krillin? Like, that's, he's got the Universe 7 eliminations. It could be a situation where Toei is going to give this guy the Universe 7 eliminations to give him, to put him over and to get him heat. And then he'll get thrown out by Gohan or, maybe Kale or somebody else. Well, no, Kale wouldn't throw him out because they're on the same team. Bad idea. I don't think it'd be Kale. Unless she rampages again, then she'll do it by accident. But no, it could be Gohan. It could be Goku, Vegeta. I do wonder if they're going to do a Vegeta Frost rematch, though. And that's really the one that I really want to ask you guys is, do you think we're going to see a Vegeta Frost rematch? Vegeta and Hit rematch, I think it's coming. I do. Vegeta and Frost, different story. But I think that's coming too. And then here we have Frost just smoking. He shot a beam. I don't know if he, what he did with it, but without question, to wrap up this next episode preview breakdown, this episode is without question going to be centered on Frost. I think the Maji Kayo versus the Pride Troopers thing, I think that's part of it. I think that's part of the story. I think that's, maybe the first half or so, and the second half is going to focus on Frost. Revenge F. But who's he getting revenge on? Is it Vegeta? That's the only one I can think of, because Vegeta's the guy who tossed him the last time. I think that makes sense. I cannot wait for this episode. It's in 2 weeks. Sucks. We got to have an off week, but hey, it happens. That's how it is. But I promise you, I got some very special videos dropping next weekend. It'll be a blast. Thank you so much, as always, for supporting Geekdom 101. It means a lot to me. I love you all. Take care of yourself and each other, and leave comments about everything I said. We should be done, right? Yeah, that's it. We're done. And I'll talk to y'all later. Have a great one.